Mr. Crump, how important is a summit like this to get across a message of social justice?
You know, you have to be able to discuss the ideas to speak truth to power. And that's why this summit with Rock Nation and Jay-Z is so important, because it's saying that we can come up with solutions, that there are always going to be problems, but there's no problem that we cannot solve working together. And that's what's so special about this summit.
Now, when we talk about a pathway forward, moving forward to make a difference with social justice, what do you think it will take? Voting, people being active, what?
You know, I really think as we face the midterm elections, hopefully this summit has motivated people to remind them why we are sacrificing our time and our energy to go stand in all these long lines and fight the voter suppression like we know happening in Texas, Georgia, and everywhere, because our children's lives depend on it. If we don't vote, they continue to roll back the civil rights that we've gained, and that's when we see the Supreme Court say we're going to put procedure over actual innocence. I mean, how can you rationalize that? You got people who can prove their innocence, but you're going to say, oh, because there was a technical deficiency in your pleading, we're going to keep this black life locked in a cage forever. We're better than that, America, and that's why we have to have summits to talk about how we make sure we can overcome injustice and racism wherever it rears its ugly head.
And also today you had a chance to sit on a panel with mothers and sisters of black men who lost their lives to law enforcement officers or at the hands of law enforcement officers. How important is it to keep that coalition with those women together?
Now, it's so special to see this panel that had mothers who lost their sons, sisters who lost their brothers, and then in Dr. Bernice King's situation, a daughter who lost her father as she educated us to police violence, because their civil trial proved it was not James Earl Ray. And so we've been dealing with this for decades, but for them to come together and inspire one another is inspiration to all of us who haven't had our loved ones lost unjustly to police brutality. And so I pray that they continue to keep the sisters of the movement going, the mothers of the movement going, and Dr. King having the King Nonviolence Center, because each of them have something only that they can tell the world. And that's why they give legacy to their loved ones. And Isaiah, we know how important legacy is when our children are assassinated in their physical state, but then they try to assassinate their character. And so that's why these foundations are so important. So keep speaking up, sisters. Keep speaking up.